FngHaze shit. Shot the whole day though. Shot the bro Trey Boogie. We slide. Sliding in the rentals, trying to run the milli up. In the southeast, Trey Boogie been a plug. Rubber bands on the blues, hella panoramic views. If you get into it with the squad, you can never lose. It's on the flow like Yellow Rider. I got your vibe on her toes like nail polish. In the city, we get respected from everybody. You about to pull up on Trey Boogie, now let's chop it. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Got it wet, it's not a cut. Ain't worried about what nobody else got, cause I got enough. Me and Trey Boogie locked in, he threw a lob, I dunk. Heard the beat and sauced it up, can't nobody go hard as us. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up.
Trey Boogie, and this is Let's Chop It Up. How y'all doing tonight?
Amazing.
That's right, all right. Hey, I appreciate everybody, you know, who's been tapping in, who's been sharing, who's been following, the old ones and the new ones, you know. I appreciate you all. We got some big things coming on this show, and just for, you know, y'all tapping in with me, believing in my platform, and it mean a lot to your boy. So I appreciate you all. Y'all the real stars. So yeah, right now I can't wait any longer. I gotta get into you know, one of our sponsors. Let me thank all the sponsors. You know, Watkins Bail Bonds, Babylon Gardens, Average Joe Burgers, S.D Elite Sports, YBNB, and you know, speaking. Oh, I'll be remiss if I don't say Superior Soul Food. Okay, talking about YBNB, we got Roosevelt, Mr. Teddy Roosevelt III, the man with the big words. He's right here to give us some news that we could use. What's up, Roosevelt?
Hey, big homie, man. We chopping it up, man, like sushi rolls. I really appreciate you for allowing us to grace the presence, man, on this podcast. But look, I'm gonna get right to it. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna expedite it, man. Young is a state of mind. So we got members in our group from 25 to 55. Black, the word black is a triple entendre because we young, black, and in business. So the triple entendre, it got three meanings. You know, we definitely work with the low moderate income community, but we provide the instructional, educational, entrepreneurial content that is information, light to bring early emerging entrepreneurs out of the darkness. And you know, the color black encompasses and absorbs all the colors in the world. And the definition of business is providing a solution for a problem that makes a profit. So look, if you don't know by now, I'm the young E.F. Hutton. So you're going to want to get a pen and a paper and take copious notes because I'm about to give you the word for the day. The word for the day is monolithic. The word for the day is monolithic. And what that means is it's massive, it's gargantuan, it's formed by a single large block of stone. It also means it's an organized system, large, powerful, and uniform. You got to be a part of that organized organization. It's not about one of us, it's about all of us. Remember, your network is your net worth. Yesterday's score don't matter in today's ball game. Yesterday's scores don't matter in today's ball game. But I'm going to tell you this right here. The stats count. You know what I mean? The stats count. You know what I mean? So make it happen, man. Action brings that satisfaction. Join an organized organization today. You can't lose with the stuff we use. Stay anchored to your family and shoot for the stars. This is Roosevelt Williams III, president of Young Black in the Business, and we're going to chop it up again, man. Peace and power.
Roosevelt, I appreciate you, man. I holler.
Big love.
So, yeah. Hey, he be using some words, don't he? Did you understand it? Did you understand what he was saying? You need me to break it down to you later on? Or, you good? Okay.
We all got it.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to my creative director, man, Lee Lamar. He up in the house, man. You know, he one of the busiest brothers I know, man. Every time I look, he's somewhere getting content, donating his time, and dope brother. Speaking of dope, we're lucky to have someone here. We've been trying to make this happen for a while, you know, ever since that Zoom meeting. But, you know, hey.
That was fucking months ago.
I'm sorry I was booked.
Me too, homie.
Okay, so, you know how it goes.
I'm a mom.
You know how it goes. But allow me to introduce to some and present to others none other than Christina Geri, a.k.a. Xtina. How you doing tonight?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me here. I love your vibe.
Oh, you talking? You got a vibe that lights up the room when you walk in.
We got to be lights. We got to be lights in this dark world.
That's right. Hey, a beacon of light in the dark world. That's what we say. That's what we say.
That is it.
So, you want to give a shout out to your people real quick?
Oh, thank you so much. I see people on my live. I know I saw April K, CO, some other people. I see Kimberly.
Big up, CO.
So we see you.
No doubt. So, allow me. I want you to introduce yourself too. It might be one or two people out there that don't know who you are. I mean, you know everybody. We got to talk offline because a lot of my partners and stuff and my friends from back in the day. I do. So, but introduce yourself. Tell them who you are. I couldn't give your title because you have so many different things.
That's hella long.
Right, that's like a whole Harry Potter book.
It is. I fucks with Harry Potter. I'm a nerd for sure.
Let them know who you are real quick.
My name is Christina Geri. I go by Xtina. I'm an inner healing coach and abolitionist. So I'm an abolition activist. I do believe in creating a world without prisons. I'm very, very serious about this. And so what I do in my inner healing coaching business and work is I help us understand the ways in which we incarcerate ourselves, right, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and help us liberate our own souls through the work that we do. So I work with people one-on-one. I have memberships. I do public speaking. But I'm really just here to undo the ways in which we limit ourselves, hate on ourselves, harm ourselves, or heal and heal from the ways in which we've been harmed by others, held back by others, right? Because it's not just the self. It happens time and time again. So how do we undo those patterns? And that's what I really help people do. And what's different about me is I help people do this in very, very simple ways. Like people are like, no way did that 2-second exercise unlock so much for me.
2-second exercise.
Yep. Like doing 3 deep breaths, and I'll lead them through that, or choosing the one that we did this week. I ran a 7-day energy shift challenge on Facebook this week. And each day we went through an activity to help elevate their energy and clear out the BS, right? Because we carry things, we get hurt or something happens throughout our day, our energy kind of gets knocked. And instead of actually learning how to let it be right in that moment, we carry it on with us and we trail it on. And then we take that poison and we poison everybody else in the next environment, right? Our children, our spouses, maybe someone at the grocery store, or you go off on someone at the bank and they had nothing to do with you, right? We do it all the time.
Road rage.
All the time, right? And this doesn't mean for us to beat up on ourselves, but to let go and be like, okay, I'm human.
Yeah.
Right? Let me live in the moment. Let me forgive myself. Let me have some compassion. So one of the most simple exercises from this week is choosing when we go to sleep and when we wake up, our subconscious and our conscious is at play, right? And this is really when you can reprogram who you are.
Subconscious and our conscious
minds
is at play.
Yeah, they be like playing with each other.
Tug of war.
Yes. And so a lot of times people love to do affirmations like in the morning or midday, but it's like the most powerful if you're doing it just as you're going to sleep, and just like when I say wake up, not like when you got out the bed, when you're still in the bed and you say things to yourself, okay? So what I have people do is, when we wake up, a lot of times they're like, oh, a new day.
I was like that today.
Let me put on the snooze. I don't want to get up. None of that, right? But instead, when we have that, to honor it and say, I did that, I can undo that right now. And I'm going to choose to just smile. So instead of, it's a new day, it's a new day.
That ain't easy for everybody to do.
It is not easy.
Because, I'll say, it's a new day and be looking just like this. You know what I mean? Because I know what else is about to happen. My granddaughter coming in running, she's into something, you know what I mean? So how do you get to that point?
So
how did you get to that point?
Oh God, falling the fuck apart.
Because you teach all of that, so you must have went through something to be able to now teach how you overcame that.
It's been a hell of a long journey for sure. So I think my biggest pain came when I was in graduate school about, so I was working on my PhD, and while I was working on my PhD, my and I did not finish. I chose not to finish.
PhD in what?
In ethnic studies. And so my research was on gendered incarceration. And so I really wrote, again, abolitionist, right? I believe in a world without prisons because I grew up in Southeast San Diego, and the police and policing, incarceration were very much involved in my family life. I didn't meet many of my uncles till I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. The only times we always had to go to school, and my parents like really instilled a strong work ethic in me of like, you go to school no matter what, you push through. That's a part of being who we are. If you're sick, you got this. Have some medicine. You got this, baby girl. You got this.
Medicine. Take a little medicine and go lay down.
Yeah. Or some tea, because my dad's Mexican. Put some garlic, they're all about the herbs, and communing, using Mother Earth, right, in healing. So that's not a new practice for me. But I did miss school when there were court hearings for family and when someone was being released from prison. That was hands down, you're getting pulled out of school because this family matters, right? And so it's something that has always been, it's just a part of my reality. That's just is what it is. Yeah, like there's no way around it. And being told like you don't call the police, like it's never about what's right or wrong. It's like just don't get caught.
Is that really a good thing? You don't call the police? I mean, I'm a person from the street. Everybody have a story to tell. Mine is well documented. I've done a lot of things. Is there ever a reason and a time to call the police in your mind?
That is such a hard one, and that's really what led to shifting my own perspective, because I was so anti-police, so anti the system, so much about fighting it that I realized I was starting to feed it. When you fight something so strong, it gets stronger, right? And so there was a time in my life where I had no other option other than to call the police, and it fucking humbled the shit out of me. Because I was like, fuck, it's not about an and or, it's that we need to shift the way in which we relate to police officers, and we also need to shift like completely the way police officers engage and relate to us in the community.
Yeah, abolish the police, man, and all that. I feel like we need to call it something different. You know what I mean? We need to have a whole different way of training people and for them to, and quit using the word policing, because policing, they were, developed and created to catch runaway slaves and stuff. So,
yes, hella.
Therefore that mentality is engraved in that whole police name and culture. We need something different, like some places police don't have guns and none of that
like Sweden
and stuff like that. Sweden, and they do just fine.
Yeah, what I mean? When you go to prison, you have you have like an apartment, right? And your time is not about being quarantined and locked away. It's really about your healing.
Yeah, it's terrible behind bars. Yeah, it's real terrible. You're like the forgotten people, But
completely,
what are you going to do with hardcore criminals? The murderers, the rapists, no prisons.
Everybody always asks me this. Everybody always asks me this, right? And so it's because I have worked with and I have family members who have murdered people. That is not who they are.
They reacted to a situation. I mean, my family from all over Dago and from both sides, and I know, you know what I mean? I've seen it, lived it, breathed it. Some folks are just, what are you going to do with them?
So I think
I don't want to. I'm just throwing questions out there. Not saying I feel this way or that way. We just chopping it up about it.
We are. That's exactly what we're doing. And I think sometimes when people want to go like, oh, well, what if this and that? It's like, okay, let's focus on the here and now. Because right now, the reality is majority of people are incarcerated for nonviolent crimes, right? Or they're in there for enhancements, right?
Weed,
drug enhancements, right? All kinds of different enhancements. And so their time is, nobody, like no matter what you did, deserves to have their life completely ripped apart. And that's really what is happening, right? Nobody deserves that. And I mean, if we're talking about criminals, like we didn't incarcerate the founding fathers. So like, come on now.
You're going to get banned. You're going to get some hate mail.
This country is founded on, it's no surprise that we talk about rape culture, right? And that's now become a term that's commonly known when that is what this country was founded on. And so we have a lot of healing to do. And that's really what shifted my work from focusing on fighting this system of incarceration. I still heavily work with healing in that space. But while I was leading empowerment circles at a reentry home in South LA and going through my own stuff, I realized that if I took serious that we were to create a world without prisons, I'm doing the wrong work. Fighting that system means I'm still giving life to that system. I'm still saying it exists. And if I'm going to be serious about envisioning a world without prisons, I wouldn't fight something that doesn't exist. So I need to be doing a different type of work. And that's what led to the inner healing, right? Is how do I help people heal from being incarcerated or family members who lost someone to being incarcerated, or seeing your uncle or mother or sister or brother being beat by the police, right? Or
my baby brother, my younger brother, committed suicide in prison.
Yes.
So they say.
So they say, right? But it's also a very real reality that when you are incarcerated, you go mad because that system is made to make you hate yourself even more, go crazy, because of the way that they're treating you, the way that they're treating everybody else, right? And this isn't to say, oh, then now hate all of the guards or anyone else who's in that system. They're a product of this system in the same, not the same way, but in a different way. Maybe they were forced, like that was the only way to get out of their neighborhood, was to become a guard, right? This was the best way that I could provide for my family.
Yeah.
Now I have health care. Right? For real. It's a real thing. It's just like how families of color, men of color, women of color are going to the military. It's the same thing with becoming a prison guard.
I'm a vet,
You know what I mean? So, like, if we're actually going to chop it up, like, that's the most diverse union we have in the United States.
Yeah, I called it legalized slavery. But that was just my and a whole bunch of other people's opinions. But who are we?
Who are we? And so we all need healing. It's not just those we've all been impacted by it differently.
I believe in that. We all need healing because, like I said before, everybody got a story. Everybody been through something. Everyone didn't have the silver spoon in their mouth, grow up with the silver spoon in their mouth, but even those people had problems too.
They still have pain.
Issues. There's pains. It's different pains and issues, but we all share pain.
We all share pain.
So people like you that teach that healing and how to, break the chain of that pain. Break the chain of the pain.
Break the chain of the pain.
Trademark.
I'm loving it.
Trademark.
Break the chain of the pain.
Use that one. I'm going to give that one to you.
Oh, you're so giving.
Roosevelt listening. You see how I did that, Roosevelt? I could use some words too that rhyme. But yeah, how I like how you're able to teach people how to break those chains, And
in simple ways. They don't have to be, thousands of dollars in personal development or hours and hours in therapy. Like, you really can begin this work yourself. It does help if you have an account, like someone to help keep you accountable or guide you. But you don't have to wait until you reach those spaces, right? And that's really what founded the way that I do what I do. So my approach to creating memberships and programs that are all super affordable was because I was in a painful place and wanted healing, and I didn't have money, and was like, well, I want to enroll in your programs, but I don't have $5,000 to heal my life.
Some people be acting bananas with those prices, but
you know what I mean? I do. My one-on-one coaching services, it's anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, but my group spaces, $37. Anybody can get $37 to heal your life, right? And these decks right here, $22. And for every deck that is purchased, a deck is given to a family that's impacted by incarceration. And so that we are all a part of this healing, right? That when you make this purchase, it's not me giving it, it's you're giving this to someone who also needs the healing, so that we're healing together, right? And not just, okay, I'm gonna go see my person, and I'm not gonna tell my problems to nobody but my person. It's like, no, like, let's be vulnerable about this, because we are all hurting, especially through this pandemic. We are all hurting.
A lot of people lost family members. I had a few losses in my family due to it, but this was during the beginning when they were saying it was a respiratory infection. And then later on, COVID is a respiratory infection, My voice changed. My body is not the same from when I was sick. So, I know people who was in comas. I know people. It's pandemic did a lot.
It exposed a lot, both ways, right? It applied pressure for people who needed it to grow
and diamonds
and step up.
Diamonds are built.
There
by
it is.
Pressure, so.
We have a lot of diamonds that were formed, but we had a lot of people who weren't ready for that pressure, and completely fell apart. Like, completely fell apart, right? We have families who had never experienced having their children at home that much time.
Man. Yeah. That's
trust me, I
right
know,
there.
bro.
You don't
like,
know.
I
You
love
don't
my
know
baby,
my granddaughter.
except
You don't know how I raised my granddaughter. We call her Baby D, and like in the movie. You don't know Baby D. She is a lover. I love her. Ooh, bless her little heart.
Yeah, for situations like that, I think what I tell parents is making sure that you give yourself time. You have to make time for yourself, and it seems really hard, and it seems like a privilege to do so. So when I say I work for myself and my son is there, like, this boy will hop up in sessions with me, okay?
I love that too. I be watching and I see him. He's meditating with you. He's he has his own deck of cards now, right?
Yes, he has come out with a kid's
Look
deck.
at you
yes.
building a little king. The little prince is
I'm
gonna
not
be a
building
king.
him, okay? He was born that way. He is teaching me how to own my queenness. Like, for reals, I'm not even lying.
That was good.
Yeah.
If I knew which one was the right button, I'd have hit something. That was good right there.
But
there it is. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Oh, y'all stop it.
But learning our children. I don't know how young your granddaughter is, but they're
6.
Okay.
And
they're
I have
twins.
a 12 and a 10-year-old at home too. My kids.
They are still connected to the spirit world, right? And she's still able to see things, feel things, protected by the angels in ways that we could never explain, right? Still able to we have a lot to learn from her. I have a lot to learn from my son. He fully feels everything, right? Like, when he's angry, I really know. When he's happy, I also really know. And that's actually a powerful way of living that we could follow from young children, because most of us as adults, what happens in childhood is we go to school, we get parented, we get directed in all these different spaces, and we're told that the only emotion that we're really allowed to have is happiness.
I was going to go there. I was going to ask you, do you allow
he gets angry
to express his emotions? Because, growing up, you're not able to cry, you're not able to
especially
feel,
as a man, right?
And stuff, like, some people, like myself, life has turned me not black, but dark, you know what I mean? Where you don't know if I'm happy or not, but
you're apathetic.
You know what I mean?
I'm just not even going to feel.
Either.
I'm just not even
it's
going
not
to
on
feel.
Purpose. It's just, get in the room. Nobody care about you. Don't be around. Don't do this. Don't. You just grow up. Like, basic training was fun for me. It was just like being at home, but with strangers and nicer people. They were actually nicer, the drill sergeants, than growing up in my house.
Right.
So it was nothing to me. Some people, like I said, are just built like that. How is it allowing your son to do that? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not into that either. I'm a product of how I grew up, but I am trying to change.
Oh, I have to definitely face. Yes,
I'm like Bernie Mac. How he, yeah, my house is like the Bernie Mac show.
So, right, I am committed to undoing the ways in which we incarcerate, right? And so I really got slapped in the face when I realized I was sending my son to the room all the time, and I was like, "Fuck!" I'm teaching my kid to incarcerate himself. I'm normalizing the idea
in the room,
to be locked up.
Oh wow, I never thought about that.
right?
I'm quick to tell her to get in the
Get
room.
the F away before I hurt you.
You know what I mean?
It's real, okay? I'm a mommy. I get it. And this is what makes my coaching services different. Is like I'm cuss, get this out.
Yeah, you got a mouth like a 10 sailors. You know? Like 10.
You know, when I was in graduate school,
it's cool though. But it's
a dirty.
You are,
it's who I am, and I learned to embrace that because for the longest, can you just like up that phone call right there? We don't want to answer that. Just like red mark that. Yeah, because I'm not about to answer a phone call. No, you're good. Oh, it's cool. It'll go away. Yep, there it is. And go back. It'll be cool. Just go back to Instagram. You want me to do it? You got it? Okay. Let me get up real quick. Oh, my God. He's literally like people.
Yeah, this is live, y'all. This is live.
There it is. Okay. You can bring it back whenever you want. But thank you so much.
Is it still?
It'll reconnect. You know how it goes.
Okay.
I'm sure it will. If not, it is what it is. They can watch it on your platforms. But I
don't know if it does it.
Just it'll.
Okay.
We're gonna let go, and God's got this.
Let go and let God.
But we were talking about children and potty mouths. When I was in graduate school, actually, one of my mentors, he was like, "You got more balls than any man I've ever met." He was like, you come up here and you just be like, slaying stuff. Like, no, we're not here to play around. I'm here to expose this history. I'm here to remind us that this history impacts our psyche. It impacts how we think about ourselves. It impacts, how we think about ourselves is how we're going to impact our children and how they think about themselves. And so how do we undo things that we've been carrying for generations, right? I talked about rape culture as the foundation of this country. If that's the foundation of this country, we have made it normal. We've made rape normal. We've made control normal, right? How often are we trying to control our children? We're getting upset at them because they're not doing what I said when I said it. And instead of allowing my young king to have his own voice, to have his own thoughts, and me really respecting him as his own being, right? And if I take serious that he is a king. Okay. And if more of us parents took serious that we are raising the next generation of leaders, we would probably lead our households very differently. Very differently, right? Like we are leading the next generation of leaders, the next presidents, the next judges, the next everything, right? Because the president doesn't matter. I mean, the president matters, but like, let's think about locally how that impacts our lives. Judges, who's sitting on city councils, county supervisors, right?
District attorneys,
district attorneys, all. Yes.
That's what we tell people, man. That's who you need to focus on.
That is who we need to focus on.
That affects our communities,
and so we are raising the next ones to walk into that, and we need to take that serious. Children to care about that, children to speak up, to advocate, to say things. And it's hard. Yeah. It's not easy learning how to let my 6-year-old have his own thoughts. Okay.
You're better than me.
Like it is not easy, and learning to go with the flow and having to check myself. But this is everything that I help my clients with as well, is like, it's okay as a parent to put yourself on timeout. It's okay.
Put yourself on timeout.
Put yourself on timeout before you snap.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And it seems so weird and foreign and also very simple, but what it's teaching our children is how to be self-aware and pause before the blow up.
Okay.
Right? Is like, we can tell before we snap more than our children can. So I'm going to go take a break real quick. Or mommy, daddy, grandpa.
Yeah, I'd say give me a second. That's one of my mechanisms. Just after 10 seconds, it's like it never happened. I could relax now, because I am quick to blow up, I was an angry kid. I didn't have my mom and dad, you know what I mean? I had grandma, and she had my brother, and then and then I had 2 sisters adopted out. Thank God we found each other, big up to my sisters. So, except for my brother now, we're all together now. But it's just sad that my brother ain't here, and we're all together now. This just happened like 2 years ago,
You didn't meet your sisters?
Nah. We played with one when we were a kid for about an hour, and then she got took, and then the other one we never, other than a picture. But, my dad and mom was in and out of prison. So I had my fair.
So you
I
know
hated
exactly
the
what
police because I was
talking
scared
about.
of the police. I was, you don't talk to the police. I understand all that, but when you get older and,
Things happen.
is there? We're going to do a show about that one. Is there? I just want to know, like, because gangsters have to call themselves. I just want to know. But I want to talk about these beautiful stones and stuff you gave us today. The lava, it's not lava, but it's real smooth. I like it.
And it was so
It's keeping me grounded too.
It's keeping you grounded. It removes the negative energy. Roosevelt said something about.
And how did y'all meet?
I was like,
big up to YBNB.
Give me a minute. I got it. We both were a part of. I was like, gotta rewind real quick.
The stone?
Wait, the Stone or Roosevelt?
Both.
Okay, so I met Roosevelt. We are what you call RISE fam or familia. So we both went through the RISE Urban Leadership Program. Please go to risesandiego.org. They are accepting applications. I'm just going to drop that real quick.
There it is.
So if you are looking to heal your life, you want a fellowship to be in a program, it's a year-long leadership program. Literally any industry within San Diego County, if you're just looking to become a leader, like a sacred leader, this is that you need to apply. If you need help with the application, hit me up. If you need a letter of recommendation, if I know you, I got you. If I don't, let's get to know each other, and then I got you. How I got into stones was through inner healing and Reiki work, and a part of inner healing and Reiki is working with the elements. And so I do work with stones. That's, why I'm wearing this. That's why I brought you that. I wanted to bring you another one, but my day didn't work that way. But that is the stone that was meant for you.
We'll have part two.
We will. As you were talking, I pulled some cards. So I authored these Divine Power Affirmations deck. I'll show that real quick. You can find these at xtinajeri.net/deck. xtinajeri.net/deck. My inner healing programs, you can go to xtinajeri.net/healing, or you can just go to xtinajeri.net and you'll find all of that. So we're talking about, giving voice to our children, right? And honoring them for who they are and not just trying to control who they are. So the 3 cards that I pulled are amazing. So the first one I got was Only One Me. There has never been anyone like me. There is no one like me. And there will only be one me. Act like it. Own your fucking shit.
Act like it.
You better own it. You better own who you are. And also remind your children and grandchildren to own who they are. And then you also have to honor that within them instead of trying to make them like you.
That's true. And I talked to other people about that. When I was young, when you're young and you have a kid and you're a boy, you have a man, you have a boy. You want him to be little such and such. You know what I mean? You want him to do everything you did just as good or better than you. And as I got older and had kids again, that's not fair. It was hard enough for me to be me. Why am I going to try to force someone else to try to be, you know what I mean? So I like that one.
Right. The next one I got was no surprise that we're talking about family, and I would pull Ancestral Presence.
Ancestral.
So our ancestors. I call upon my ancestors and trust their guidance. I am never alone. I am surrounded in love. We have an army, a full-on army, every single one of us, of ancestors and angels, and we just be acting like we don't have them.
Like they're just
not here, and they are.
I think you posted that.
I think either that one or Ancestors' Dreams. I do connect to the ancestors a lot.
That sounds familiar. And that one, when I seen it, I hit like. I was like, that's tight right there, indeed.
Right, and then the last one, again, speaking of children and just ourselves, is to speak life. I speak only life into myself and others. I release my pull to gossip, poison, and negativity. I choose to speak life. And this one is so powerful for me because how often do we look in the mirror? How often are we going throughout our day and we're just like hating on ourselves? Oh, I did this wrong. I did this shit. Like, look at, especially women looking in the mirror like, oh, I got this wrong. I got this wrinkle. I got this. And like, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Men do it too.
And it's like learning to pause right when you have that. So instead of continuing to beat myself up and be like, oh, I shouldn't have that thought. It's just, it happened. And just as fast as I had that thought, I can shift it. right? And that is your superpower. And I can choose to, and that's when you begin to undo it. So then you can wake up in the morning and be like, it is a new day, and I love
Smile.
it.
Yeah, I got dimples, and people don't even know I got dimples because I don't be, cheesing all the time. But I be happy. I be happy inside, I gotta try to control it and own it. Control it and own it.
You better own your shit, homie.
Hello, somebody.
You're
I'm just
amazing.
spitting words right now. Control it and own it.
Control it and own it. Mm-hmm.
Xtina, anything you want to promote right now?
The biggest thing I would promote is my inner healing program. The decks are dope. A lot of artists love to use these. A lot of families love to use these. I love the decks, but for those who really want to heal their lives, to have that accountability, to have someone speak life into them like all of the time, because that's really like what I do when I'm, like I said, I'm everyone's hype woman earlier. I am like a battery charger. When people are around me, they're like, man, I just feel your energy. I feel inspired. I'm ready to go. Like, they'll like things that happen at work, or like they'll get new contracts signed. They're like, how is this happening? I'm like, that's what I bring to people's life. So if that's something that you need in your life, I would say you need to enroll in one of my programs. The healing programs, like I said, are at xtinajeri.net/healing. In these spaces, there's an opportunity to tune in live or to catch the recording. And so I really make it super simple. We're really busy. All of us are really busy. Unlike other coaching programs that I enrolled in myself, they would have these sessions for like hour or 2 hours. I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Like,
That's
who
me.
has the
I use
effing
that all
time?
the time? I don't have the time.
I don't have the time. Like, I'm a single mom. He's homeschooled. He's in all kinds of things. He's 6 and he's like coding fucking games and shit. And he's in hockey.
Homeschooled before COVID?
Well, he's only 6.
Oh.
He's in kindergarten.
Oh,
yeah. So he was in preschool, and before that, yes, I was home with him the first 3 years.
Okay.
But the pandemic gave me a big shock. I was used to preschool and coaching and going to the gym and looking amazing, and then now I'm like, oh, okay. Learning to embrace and love, like, we don't have to have muscles in the same way. But the programs, how I design them is they're like 15, 20 minutes once a week, because I cannot be, I can't tune in longer if I'm working on myself. Like, it would be great. All of those wonderful spaces of yoga and meditation and personal development that are hours long. I'm nothing against you, but when you're really, really busy, and this pandemic showed me that those who didn't have children, they were bored. Those of us who had children, we were not fucking bored. We were losing our fucking
Going
minds.
crazy.
We were losing our minds.
Right.
We had no time for ourselves. Like, it was such a different reality. I had someone be like, oh my God, I have so much time. And I was like, what a fucking privilege.
Oh, the real.
I have no time.
I love my kids, but parents, it ain't meant for us to be around children that much. Lord have mercy.
It ain't even meant for us to be around our partner that
You know
much.
what I mean? You gotta be. You need your time. And 6-year-olds, I know. Well, you don't know, baby D. You don't know, baby D. My granddaughter is like a million times worse than the person you think of.
That just means she has a really big life purpose. And I'm not even like fucking
sing
with
her
you.
butt off. She could dance like nobody's business. Caught her twerking.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't even listen to Cardi B and stuff like that in my house. Where are you learning this stuff at?
Because it's everywhere.
And she's sneaky. She know how to get in somebody's laptop. I woke up on my iPhone and had about 50 pictures of selfies of her. How you get in my phone? It's an iPhone. Sneaky.
I mean,
Pray for me.
they're smart.
Super smart.
And instead of being quick to punish, right? Because we want to move away from punishing and more guiding, right? The difference between discipline and punish is having like structure versus like, I'm just going to fucking punish your ass. And I talk to a lot of people who have daughters with this one, is you want to be the one to guide that narrative instead of her going somewhere else
for
it. So it like,
I know what you. Yeah, I was one of them people. Those type of females.
Yeah.
came to for guidance
Yes.
and for, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
that
so,
was
like, with my
part of the
son,
game, you know?
like, he's 6 and he has a phone, and I know some people feel some type of way about that. But I would rather be the one guiding the narrative now while he is young to not be addicted to his phone and instead have a healthy relationship with his phone.
You take it away from him at certain times, or he's
No,
able
it's
to
just
keep
showing him how to have it, how to use it. And it's actually been a wonderful tool. Like, he's learning how to spell and read, so texting is great. Like, instead of us having this negative mentality, like, we're creating this negative relationship to technology where we can actually create one that's positive and flourishing or like soulfully nutritious for our children. But instead, we're like, oh, they just do the bullshit on there. So what are they going to do? More bullshit.
Right.
We're manifesting it. We're creating it.
I'm trying to see how that could work with me. I'm a work in progress.
But, you know, with the young daughters, especially if you have, like, preteen, teen daughters, fathers, you need to be taking your daughters on dates. Like, I'm not even going to front you on that one. Like, you need to take your daughter on a date, not once. This needs to be at least once a month. It needs to be a practice that she looks forward to, that you look forward to, that it is a special time, and show and guide her what she deserves so she is not entertained by the fuckery around her.
I did that, you know, with my daughter. I got her, I won full custody of her from New York, you know, and they sent her to me. And I used to do that. Take her on dates, show her what a man is, you know, how a man should treat you.
I take my son on dates. He knows Monday night's date night.
See, I told her,
Baby,
you know,
you take me on a date.
If a boy like you, he should want to come meet your dad. You know what I mean? That's how I was back in the day. And I was that sneaky one that, you know, I was a sports star and doing my music stuff. And so people loved me. So, but I was polite and I knew how to talk to grown-ups. Never mind what we were doing when we left, but to their eyes, I was like the perfect person. But still, give me that courtesy, you know. And
we've lost that.
I did that, and she still got lost to it. But you know, she ain't done yet. And, you know, God ain't done with her either.
It's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. You know, we all got to go through their own things.
Let him handle it. She's grown. Mm-hmm. She's grown now. I can't do nothing.
And you did your best.
I did
and it's about
best.
honoring that you did your best, right? And not seeing like, no, you didn't fuck up anywhere. You didn't. So like,
I
let
blame
go
myself
that.
a lot. But,
yeah,
you know,
I could tell. I felt the vibe.
We go through that. You know what I mean? You're going to blame yourself like that. You know, kids deserve the best chance in life. Period. When that is messed up or screwed up somehow, it messes the kid up. So I try not to do. I try to give them good energy. I tell them I love them all the time, give them hugs and stuff. But you know, I'm still gonna be mad and angry. But you know, they don't know about grown up life yet.
They do deserve to be hugged. They do. They deserve the best. And I'm just, you know,
That's
black
big.
and brown children of color. They deserve the best more.
I didn't get all
like
that.
More.
You know, there's a lot of us that didn't get all that. You know, everybody got a story.
You know, because some people try to tell me like, "Oh, you spoil your son." I'm like, he damn right. He better fucking know he deserves all this shit. Like yes, and not because I don't spoil him. Right? That's someone else's idea. Right? He needs to know that this is normal. Right? To receive this kind of love. To be this kind of love, to give this kind of love. That's exactly what he needs to know. Again, because I take serious that I'm raising the next generation of a king, a leader. Right? So that he's, you know, like we have to take that serious. Our children deserve everything. That doesn't mean for us to slave away to make it possible, but undo the ways in which we enslave ourselves to work, to giving them things, right? And truly open up to a creative flow, to abundance, to like really being magnetic, powerful beings. Right. But our children definitely deserve everything so that they don't develop this scarcity mindset or that they're not enough.
I would say you're doing a great job too. You know, you got you got a real entertaining Instagram page and even your Facebook. I don't be on Facebook as much as Instagram, but I like how you do your videos and how you're doing your thing. You motivate and you inspire and you're helping a lot of people. You're doing things in the community. You're raising your son the right way. I salute you.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
We're going to have you back on again. I'm letting you know. And I want to do something with a few other women. We were going to try to do something for Mother's Day, a little special. But I promise you, it's going to be on Instagram Live.
All in divine timing.
And we're going to do it, and we're going to do it right. Before we go, I want you to let everybody know how to find you, how to reach out to you, how to order your products, how to sign up for one of your courses. One more time before we go.
Yeah. Thank you. I make it easy. Like, you don't even have to go to my website. You can DM me on Instagram. It's Xtina.Geri. So Xtina.Geri. It's Geri with the G. I'm named after Saint Gerard. My mom is Catholic. So Xtina, like Christ.
I grew up Catholic.
Yeah. Geri. So DM me on Instagram. Find me on Facebook. My website is xtinageri.net. Like I said, all of my programs are made to be super affordable. There's no fucking excuse to heal your life, and we all need to and deserve to heal our shit. So
I appreciate you. I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Right?
I can't wait for the next thing we're going to talk about that, because I really want to do it. You guys, there's a few of y'all I know personally. I would love for y'all to be on a platform together, sharing y'all knowledge. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be powerful.
So,
I see it in you.
Again, this is Xtina. Christina Geri, a.k.a. Xtina, the super healer, just a super person and a wonderful mom at that individual. I appreciate you for coming on Let's Chop It Up, kicking it with your big homie Trey Boogie. Hey, keep joining, keep tapping in. Like, subscribe, share. What's the little thing? You hit the little thing on the button. Yeah.
The notifications.
Turn
those notifications on.
Hey,
save shit, because that matters. Engage. You need to be commenting. You need to be fucking sharing that shit. Like, all of the things in your stories and the fucking posts. Like, all of it. Engage.
Message. Before we go, I got to give a big shout out to Canada. You know, DJ Immortal, my brother in Canada. For all y'all that's listening on Outlaw Radio, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM in Canada, thank you. You want to give a shout out to the folks in Canada? Because they're going to be playing.
I mean, as you're talking, I'm like, of course Canada would come up. My son fucking loves hockey. Okay. Like, okay, we should live in Canada. But I'm not trying to live in the snow.
Hey, it's your big homie, Trey Boogie, and this is Let's Chop It Up.
Shout to bro Trey Boogie.
Holla.
Trying to run a milli up in the southeast. Trey Boogie been a plug. Rubber bands on the blues, hella panoramic views. If you get into it with the squad, you can never lose. It's on the flow like Yellow Rider. I got your vibe on her toes like nail polish. In the city, we get respected from everybody. You about to pull up on Trey Boogie, now let's chop. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Got it wet, it's not a cut. Ain't worried about what nobody else got, cause I got enough. Me and Trey Boogie locked in, he threw a lob, I done. Heard the beat and sauced it up, can't nobody go hard as us. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. FngHaze shit. Shot the whole day, go. Shot the bro Trey Boogie, we slide. Sliding in the rental, trying to run a milli up in the southeast. Trey Boogie been a plug. Rubber bands on the blues, hella panoramic views. If you get into it with the squad, you can never lose. It's on the flow like Yellow Rider. I got your vibe on her toes like nail polish. In the city, we get respected from everybody. You about to pull up on Trey Boogie, now let's chop it. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some Flava, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the